Hey guys, this is TheEnder. I am back, and so here we are. We are at the round of 32, Group E, BCTV Star League, Season 1, and so this is actually going to be a really interesting group. So it was supposed to be Hero, Pure, and C, and additionally Air. I've actually never heard of Air prior to this, but he was invited to the tournament and he was in it. However, there appears to have been a problem. He wasn't able to play in the matches, and so he, I guess, forfeited his spot. So the matches are going to be Hero versus Pure and C versus Air. Without Air competing, C gets a free first round win and proceeds directly to the winner's match. Bit of a spoiler, but there was no game, so I guess it has to be spoiled. So, alright, here we have a best of 3. The winner of this goes to the winner's match, and we'll play C. So, alright, bottom left position in red, we have Pure, the Protoss. And in the upper right, we have Hero, the yellow Zerg. Surprisingly, the 3 characters that are in this game, call them characters, maybe I should call them players. The 3 gamers that are in this group are actually all gamers that I actually, I feel like I knew pretty decently from back in the day, when Pro League was the thing. So of course it's a whole lot better when you can see them on camera, because then the descriptions of them make so much more sense. But yeah, so Hero, the Zerg player, he's actually got like a little kid's face. It's really funny. It's this really pudgy, round, smiley face. Pure's a bit different. He's a bit taller, thinner, and his face is just so symmetrical that the name Pure just really sticks in your head. Alright, so it looks like we have a, what is that, an overpool from Hero, and from Pure he went for a 14 Nexus. So we'll see if these, okay, there's not going to be lings for punishment, but just scouting. That being said, those lings could still get to the to his base and get past the cannons. So, luckily it is cross positions for Pure, so he doesn't have to worry too much. But yeah, so that's those 2 players, and of course C, he was the ace player for MBC Game. I first started liking him when I happened to see this, I forget what it was, some kind of All-Stars tournament where they did like a 3v3, but it was with only 1 team each. So like every 2 minutes, one player would like get up and another player would start playing. And so C was on the team with Reach, and of course I Reach is one of my most favorite players of all time, which I'm sure he's everyone's favorite player if you actually know about him. But yeah, so that was when I first noticed him. And I followed him. He's a really great, consistent Terran player, and so now we have one of each of the 3 races, in this group, and it's going to be a good group because they're all great players. Of course, C does have a bit of a reputation in the later days of having problems with early Protoss aggression. But we'll see if he actually goes up against Pure or if he goes up against Hero. So alright, so far we have 3 bases from Hero. Fast layer. He only made 2 Zerglings, but yeah, 2 Zerglings off of a fast pool. Didn't get any harassment done compared to Pure, who actually went for a very economic opening. So possibly Hero is down a little bit because of that. That being said, they are cross positions, which favors the Zerg. And we've got a whole game ahead of us, so it could go either way. So, alright, still only 2 Zerglings on the map. 1 Zergling chasing the probe, 1 was scouting Pure's base, so it looks like it's being chased away by a Zealot now. I mean, of course, there's no Zealot speed yet, so with any kind of decent micro, the Zealot will not ever be able to catch the Ling. It does look like the Zealot is making a beeline for the 3rd base at the 3 o'clock position. And of course, right as I say that, he turns and veers to the left. Oh, he's hiding. That's a nice little hiding spot for a Zealot. I think only 2 Zerglings can attack it there, which of course is more beneficial to the Zealot if it does have to fight. I am thinking about doing a video pretty soon about you know, like the idea of the video would be something along the lines of who wins in a fight and why, and all those things that we always say, but why those actually are true. So that'll be fun, and like I said, I'll do that probably sometime in the next week. I'll have to decide, you know, how much I want to, you know, if I want to take a few shots at editing it or something. But alright, so Hero has Zergling speed, he's got half a dozen lings, he's thrown down his 4th hatchery, which I want to say is surprisingly late. But he does have a quick spire. I don't think it's for mutas. You can see he's only taken the gas in his main if you look at the mini-map. But I guess it's just for the, you know, the Scourge to keep the Corsairs in check. A lot of drones being transferred to the 3rd. First Corsair is out and hunting down Overlords. That Zealot is still hiding in the middle of the map. I don't know what his problem is. Maybe he got forgot about. Alright, so the Corsair will definitely kill this Overlord and it can run home safely. 5th hatchery on the way. No, that wasn't a 5th hatchery. Was that 2 Hydra dens? Click on the other one, please. Of course I can't make him do that. Okay, it was... Alright, yeah. 5th hatchery, Hydra den, and Evo chamber. Very, very standard build order for Hero. I believe I've heard it said in the past that he does like Hydra play. So we can definitely expect some of that. 2nd Overlord going down. And it's so far away, yeah, not a chance for it to survive. But Scourge are now going in, so they will get the scout on Pure's base, and they'll probably prevent many more kills on Overlords. So we've got a Citadel of Dune with a fast +1, not a fast +1, a fast speed. But it's surprising I didn't see a Templar Archives. Usually you see the Archives thrown down pretty soon after. These Zealots aren't going to be able to do anything. I mean, it's only 5 Zealots if he pulls the hidden one, which he doesn't. Yeah, he must have forgotten about that one completely. But yeah, there's Hydras already coming out. But yeah, so we saw that cannon in the main, and of course that's to protect Corsairs from being sniped as they come out of the Stargate from Scourge. Always good play, and it does look as those Scourge are still in them. Whoop, something just happened. They just vanished. They were in Pierre's main, but they're not anymore. Okay, 5 Zealots, they have speed. Let's click on them. They have +1 as well, so they will 2-shot Zerglings. Very nice. Got 5 or so Corsairs. It looks like they're being stacked. Templar Archives is down. And Scourge are just, you know, looking around. Saying, come at me, bro. Come at me. Alright, so 6 Zealots, they found the Hydralisk. They got a few pot shots off before the Hydras stopped being on move command, and then promptly the Hydras attacked and the Zealots ran away. Okay, so here we have a push. We have Overlords coming for detection, a decent number of Hydras, 2 groups from the main. Oh, but the Corsairs get a really, really nice pick off on the Overlords. Are they going to get all of them? 1, 2, 3. Oh, all the Overlords get sniped, and there's already a DT out. And 4th Overlord gets sniped. Oh, this attack can't go anywhere. There's 2 DTs there. Oh, but a free Templar? No? Okay. There was the option for a free Templar, but it didn't pan out. Oh, 5 Overlords sniped. Or was that 6? So many Overlords getting sniped. There's still 2 DTs not being fired on. And they can just do all kinds of... Oh, they got such high damage, too. Because +1's done, so they 2-hit Hydras really easily, even with a little bit of regen. Oh, they're just doing so much damage. I mean, the Corsairs are doing great, but there's only 2 DTs. I mean, and it's so surprising that the High Templar... Alright, I was going to say, he let the High Templar survive for way too long for no reason. But alright, so now the High Templar got taken down after he stormed. Corsairs have been reduced in number. There used to be like 6 of them, now there's only 3. But the attack has been cleaned up. Those DTs, if you click on them, they probably got about 6 kills each, and they were Hydra kills, not drone kills. Oh man, 10 kills! Oh man. As far as who's ahead now, I really don't know. I mean, of course, it's a really big loss to lose all those Corsairs, considering that Corsair costs, you know, twice what a Hydralisk does, if not more. But the Hydras, they got in, they sniped some Templar, they sniped some probes, they took out the cannons. It was a decent. There was some decent damage done, even though all the Hydras went down. However, Pure does have all his tech out, and then that's, or not all of it, but a very large amount of his tech out. And that's, of course, a very expensive cost for a Protoss. Alright, more Templar. Templar everywhere. And cannons. Cannons for everyone. Uh-oh, Zealot bugging out. So, it's kind of funny, but if you have a Zealot like that, that'll bug out for long enough, when he does run, he will run at super speed. Of course, you can't control him, he'll stop as soon as you control him, but it's just hilarious to watch. Alright, so we have a quick third from Pure, and Hero hasn't showed any signs of taking a fourth yet. So this is different. Oh, and there's a storm. Does about as much damage to his own men as he does to Hero's Hydras. Looks like a sort of an awkward fight. It's, you know, hit and run. Both sides have speed. Hydras have range, so they can take a few shots and run, but they're not going to do too good. That being said, Pure's army is only pretty much Zealot Templar, which he's got a serious problem when he runs them this far. You know, when you run them, some are going to run faster than others. Oh, nice storm there. And he storms his own DT. Excellent job. Looks like Corsairs have been remade, up to 7 Corsairs. There's Lurkers down, though, so he's going to have to retreat. And he loses 2 Corsairs for free. But yeah, so when you run your units on, you know, long distances like that, there's very high chance of, you know, units lagging behind, and as you saw, the Templar did lag behind much slower, and now he's losing them. I think the first High Templar that got sniped did send out a pretty decent storm and really thin out the Hydras, but you still don't want to lose them. I mean, you want to keep those gas units alive as long as possible, especially since they're casters. Robo is going down, so it's still going to be a while before you can deal with the Lurkers, and he is finally starting up Goon production. Still no 4th base for Hero. I mean, of course, as Zerg, you want to stay bases ahead of your opponent. But, so usually what you'll see is that Zergs will take the low ground, against Protoss that is, they'll take the low ground base of a natural, they'll take the natural base at one of the normal spawning positions. And of course when you do the regular SimCity and Sunken Colonies, that means you're pretty walled in, safe. So you can take the high ground main for pretty much for free, it's already defended. And so you have an easy 4th base. Hero instead opted to get a closer 3rd, which, I mean, it's closer, so it's easier to reinforce, and it's better for, like, Hydra aggression. But now we get to the mid-game, and it's just so hard for him to hold and protect a 4th base. Alright, so we have Mutas out, and a considerable number of them. As you can see, they're not being stacked. That's probably on purpose. Usually, you want to leave them unstacked like that when you're fighting a high unknown number of Corsairs, like he is. And because we already saw once that Pure lost some Corsairs but remade them. He's still got 5, and although 5 could beat the Mutas alone, there were Scourge to deal with the Corsairs, so they probably don't want to engage that army by themselves. Whoa! Oh! Free pod shots. Storm forces Mutas to retreat. They didn't take any damage from it, though. 4th base being established by Hero. So the Mutas fly in, they try to find a free Templar to snipe. Didn't find anything, actually sort of surprising. But usually that is the reason why you get the Mutas at this time. You wait for the Protoss to move out. Once again, the army moves at different speeds, and you pick off the High Templar without losing much yourself. Alright, he's about to get stormed. You can see the High Templar moving in. There's the storm. Pretty good storm. He just barely missed his own probes and zoned out the Mutas. But it looks like there's only 2 Scourge left. So yeah, Hero's gonna be really careful with those Mutalisks. Because once you get up to, we'll say, 7 Corsairs, they can just A-move in, take the 2 Scourge hits, and still kill all the mutas. I mean, StarCraft 2, if you look at Phoenix and you compare Phoenix to Corsairs, the idea is pretty similar. You know, it's anti-air and it's anti-light, anti-air. But the Corsair is just so much better since it does splash damage. You don't have to micro it at all. You can just A-move them into a cloud of mutas, and the mutas evaporate. But, so we see a pretty decent number of lurkers, pretty decent number of hydras. Still have the mutas, you know, flying around doing what they want to. 4th base is up for hero, but it's not saturated yet, nor does it have any defense. Of course it is a double ramped base, so, I mean, the fact that it has ramps means, you know, it'll be easier to defend, just because it's really hard to move armies up there. We've got a half a dozen lings. That's sort of surprising. We hadn't seen any lings yet from hero. Oh, but his army is moving in. He's pushing. 2 Templar, but they're lagging behind. 1 storm goes down, 2 storms go down, 3 storms go down. Nice storms. He didn't actually do too much damage, but he kept the army from coming after him. That was actually pretty good. It allowed himself to retreat a whole lot better. And we are up to 7 Corsairs again. A lot of Corsairs. However, Pyrrha is really short on the Templar. He needs to be careful. I don't know if he should be pushing right now. I mean, he can see the Hydras already chasing the Corsairs, so he knows there's more Hydras coming in from the side. Yeah, more Hydras come in, and he's gonna... Nope, he's gonna fight and he's gonna die. Alright, he had 3 storms. Man, he must have the energy upgrade on the High Templar already, so they can hold a lot of storms. Alright, so here's a lurker field, and yeah, the lurkers will just chew up the zealots. Templars being really super brave and charging into them as well. Okay, reinforcements were brought in, that's why he's still pushing. I think he's only got about 2 High Templar left, and not too many storms left. Yeah, there we go. Yep, reinforcements from the rear. Good storm dodging by hero. Very nice storm dodging. Oh, but sometimes you just can't dodge, you know. It's not blanket storms. It's surprising. Usually you just see Zergs, you know, completely just mass and overrun their opponent. Here was doing more of a, you know, a piecemeal approach, which normally is not a good idea. But when you're fighting against a lot of Psy Storms, you know, it can work decently. And a single zealot takes out the 12 o'clock. Alright, so that's game, and Pyrrha's going to take it. Hero, he was just behind economically from the beginning with that build order, and he was never able to take a 4th base. So I will see you guys in game number 2.